Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
DJ Angelo.
You're rocking with the best, the best, the best.
I'm the hottest round with the crazy style.
What's happening, people? It's DJ Angelo and I'm back with another turntable tutorial. This is lesson number 9 and today I'm going to be teaching you all about the Flair technique, which is quite an advanced style of scratching and can be quite difficult for new DJs to learn. But as always, I'm going to help you out by breaking things down into really simple steps, so hopefully you'll be able to master this technique as soon as possible. On with the tutorial. The Flair scratch is named after DJ Flair of the Invisible Scratch Pickles, who pioneered this style of scratching. It was then later developed by the rest of his crew, DJ Disc, D Styles and Qbert. The principle behind all Flair scratches is to produce the most amount of individual sounds with the least amount of hand movements, either from your record hand or your fader hand. So basically it's a more efficient style of scratching, but it requires a different level of coordination to all previous scratch techniques that we've covered. There's a lot of variations of the Flair scratch, but today I'm going to concentrate on one of the most common, which is the one-click orbit. The one-click orbit is a symmetrical scratch technique that begins with the crossfader in the open position, same as the chirp. So again, we're concentrating on switching the sound off as opposed to switching it on. I'd also recommend that you use a long sound on your record, and also to practice it first of all with the turntable motor off. Okay, to make things easy to understand, I'm going to break down the pattern into 4 steps, with each step producing one sound. Step 1, push the record forward, and as soon as you hear the sound, close the crossfader. Step 2, instead of pulling the record back and opening the crossfader like you would for a chirp, we're now going to push the record forward again, and at the same time we're going to open the crossfader. Okay, this is the halfway point, so we're going to do everything in reverse. Step 3, we need to pull the record backwards, and as soon as you hear the sound, close the crossfader. And finally, step 4, pull the record back again and open the crossfader. If you move the record in equal measures, you should find that you're back in the start position. So those steps again: push the record forward and close the crossfader, push the record forward again and open the crossfader, pull the record backwards and close the crossfader, and pull the record backwards again and open the crossfader. If you've done it correctly, your one-click orbit should produce 4 separate sounds. The technique will probably feel quite strange to you and unorthodox compared to all other scratch techniques, so take your time with it and make sure you get the movements correct. The ideal way to perform the one-click orbit is to do it in a more continuous fashion, so as you become more comfortable with the pattern, try to execute it without any pauses in between each of the steps. So you should now be able to see that each click of the crossfader produces 2 sounds. This is a lot more efficient than transforming, for example, which produces only 1 sound per click. So that's the idea behind flaring. You can of course execute flares with the turntable platter spinning. The only difference now is that you no longer need to push the record forward. Instead, just take your hand off the record for the first half of the pattern and place your hand back on it for the final part. Okay, hopefully that's given you a bit of an understanding of flaring and the one-click orbit. Here's a few patterns to get you started. That's it for today, people. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial and I hope you've learned something new. As I mentioned before, the one-click orbit is an advanced scratch technique and it's one that certainly took me a long time to develop. So be patient and practice as often as you can and you'll gradually build the coordination required to execute it. So best of luck with that. Before I go, I just want to say a big thank you, as always, to you guys, my friends and subscribers, and anyone else who's watching these videos via YouTube. Thank you very much, but I have to say a special thank you to one subscriber in particular who recently made a PayPal donation towards the making of these videos. It's the first time it's ever happened and I'm really flattered, so thank you very much. You know who you are. To all of you guys, if these videos are working out for you, please let me know, and if you carry on supporting me with the great feedback and the comments that you've been giving me so far, I'll carry on making these videos because I've definitely got more I can share with you guys. Alright, so until the next time, I wish you peace and progress.